So here we have a rectangular prism, and we're asked to find a polynomial that represents the volume of the prism. So let's remind ourselves, if we have a rectangular prism here, some will refer to this as like a box. We know that volume for this figure is equal to the length times the width times the height. All right, so for short, if I want to put V, I can say that's equal to, in parentheses, I'm going to put the length, and I'll say that's 2x minus 3, times the width, I'll say that's 3, and then times the height, x plus 2. Now let's remember that the order in which I multiply these three factors, I can switch up that order. So I can say the volume is also equal to the factor of 3 out front times the x plus 2 times the 2x minus 3. Okay, I could also say, let's try one more. I could also say, put the 3 out front. Instead of the x plus 2 first, I can put the 2x minus 3 times and then the x plus 2. So if you wrote the multiplication of these factors in a different order, remember everything I have written here is equivalent. Okay, now in general, we like to put the constant out front. So that's how you'll see I'll multiply these out on the next page. So here we have this polynomial of 3 factors written again, and we're going to actually multiply out these 3 factors. So we're going to do it twice. Now, you want to keep in mind, when you are multiplying, you can only multiply 2 factors at a time. In fact, that's worth writing down. Okay, so remember to multiply 2 factors at one time. So this, just keep in mind. So I can only do 2 at one time. So I'm going to do this example one way. So I'm going to start with multiplying the first 2 factors, 3 times the x plus 2. And then after I multiply that, I'm going to take my result and then multiply that to the 2x minus 3, our third factor. So start off with distributing 3 to the x plus 2. So that's going to give us 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 is 6. So I get 3x plus 6. So now you want to bring down that third factor. So now I need to multiply that to the third factor. Okay, so again, I'm going to distribute. Start with distributing the 3x to the 2x minus 3. So that's going to give me 3x times 2x gives me 6x squared. And then the 3x times the minus 3 gives me minus 9x. Continue to distribute the positive 6 to the 2x minus 3. So notice how I'm going to write my work here. I'm going to do the 6 times 2x gives me 12x. I'm going to write that underneath my like term, minus 9x, and then the plus 12x. And then a 6 times the negative 3 gives me minus 18. All right, so I have my 4 terms. Combine your like terms. So I'm going to bring down the 6x squared. Minus 9x plus 12x gives me plus 3x. And then bring down the minus 18. Okay, done. There's my result. So that polynomial represents the volume of this prism when you multiply out those 3 factors. Okay, so as promised, we're going to do this a second time. But this time, instead of multiplying the first two factors and then multiply that result to the third, I'm actually going to start off with multiplying the second and the third factor together first. And then take that result and multiply it to the first factor. Because remember, when you are multiplying, the order in which you multiply can be changed up. So I'm going to start with distributing the x to the 2x minus 3. So that's going to give me x times 2x gives me 2x squared. X times minus 3 gives me minus 3x. Okay, distribute the 2 to the 2x minus 3. So 2 times 2x gives me positive 4x, and then 2 times the minus 3 gives me minus 6. So those four terms, let's simplify that. So we have 2x squared minus 3x plus 4x gives me plus 1x, and then minus 6. All right, now you need to take that result and then remember to bring down that first factor that we haven't multiplied through yet. And now I'm going to multiply that first factor to those three terms. So distribute the 3 to the 2x squared. That gives me 6x squared plus 3 to the x gives me 3x minus 3 to the 6 gives me 18. So as you can see here, the result for what I did second is the same as the result for what I got first. So the reason why I showed you both ways is because personally, I prefer the second way. I like to multiply my constant in at the end because that keeps my coefficient smaller until the very end, and then I'll multiply through by the 3. So you can pick your poison. Whichever way is more convenient for you is what you should go with, whatever you're most comfortable with.